Cart placement is, we'll give it a 9. I'm kind of making this on hard mode. That's what I like right there. It is not my first day as a garbage man. Well, good morning. I say good morning because it is very early. I've had some people ask, oh, are you picking up like late at night? Nope. I am up before the sunrise, which is one of the many, or there's, perks. Perks of the job? Probably very few. Not a lot of perks. I guess it kind of depends on what you like and what you consider a perk. But one of the perks of being a garbage man is you don't miss a sunrise. One of the worst things about being a garbage man is you don't miss a sunrise. Sleeping in can be nice. So for this one, we'll do a little cart placement rating. Haven't done that for a while. Some of these improved, some of these haven't. Some of them improved because I put stickers or hangers on them. I had people text message. It's like, oh, how'd you text message them? We used Trash Joe's. Trash Joe's is a software that can sign people up online. So, like 24/7, if people are looking for trash service, they can go to your website, which is also provided by Trash Joe's, if you need one. They click on the Sign Up Now button, and they can enter in all their information, set themselves up for auto payments, and they can also get text message reminders. So, they sign up online, they can pay online, and it's all very reasonably priced, actually very competitive compared to other services. And I happen to know the guy that runs the Trash Joe software. I would recommend it. That being said, let's get some trash picked up. Switch to override. This is gonna be close. Look at that. Look at that. You'd probably think, hey man, have you done this before? Oh, yes, I have. I'm going to give this one, I don't know, I'm feeling like a 9.8. Maybe it's a little close to the pole for some of you. Doesn't matter for me. They gave myself a little, or they gave me a little bit of cushion. My 10 out of 10 rating would be on the street against the curb. Like all the way down on the street against the curb. They don't want to block the mailbox or block the approach to the mailbox for the mailman. That's my 10 out of 10. It's really hard to get 10 out of 10. I do not expect 10 out of 10. Anything a 7 or above, I consider that passing. So there's still a lot I would service that's not all the way down to the street on the curb. And we're backing up a little bit. I give this a 9. It's on the grass. If people want it on the grass or they put it on the grass themselves, I'll put it back there. I don't like to block sidewalks for pedestrians. There's also a thing, if you're putting it on a sidewalk or past a sidewalk, I got a 12-foot arm, I can reach over a sidewalk. The problem is it gets very dangerous if you can't see pedestrians that are out on a bike ride or a run. This is 10 out of 10. Look at that. Boom. To the curb. You might think, oh, the lid's cracked open a little bit. I don't really care. It doesn't matter for me. The lid can be cracked open. 10 out of 10. I might actually put it up a little bit higher. I don't put it on the corner because I don't know if there's a sprinkler head there. I'm going to make it so the mailman still has his approach. So 10 out of 10. Cart placement is, we'll give it a 9. The box on the ground, they had folded it up so that loose stuff wasn't going to fall out. I'd give the extras maybe a 9. This is they're kind of making this on hard mode. That's what I like, right there. It is not my first day as a garbage man. This here is a 10 out of 10. This is one of those instances where when the person signed up, they got it right on day one. You know, when someone signs up, there's usually an email or text message saying, all right, once the carts are delivered, here's how you set trash out. And there's always a little bit of correcting going on afterwards. But this, they just knocked it like day one. They were just crushing it. Maybe some guys would prefer a little bit more space in between the carts. I'm kind of indifferent. I can usually scoot a little bit, but I would give that 10 out of 10. 9.95. Corner of the driveway is great. Not on the sidewalk. Not blocking the mailbox. That 0.05 that I didn't give them, like I said, I'm a little stingy. 10 out of 10 is when it's down on the street, but I'll admit I'm just being stingy at that point. 9.95. 9, maybe some 9.5s. Close to the mailbox, kind of. I could see a new guy ripping that mailbox out of the ground. I always got to consider, you know, when you're looking at route conditions, you got to consider, like, is it good enough for a veteran driver or good enough for a new driver? Because new drivers are going to be a lot more stressed and a lot more overwhelmed with stuff. They don't necessarily have that tactile input response, or you kind of, it's hard to explain, but you almost get a peripheral sense of where those fingers are when you run this truck long enough. Ooh. They're normally really good about having their carts out. What do we got going on here? That'll wake somebody up. That's almost got to be a fail for cart placement. If I have to back up, that's not good. 8.9s. I've said it before, I'm not big on the putting trash out on the sidewalk. Because what happens is the operator is looking at the arm, looking at the trash, looking at his monitors, and looking at his mirrors to look at all that stuff. But I'll turn my head, see that the trash is empty, and then I gotta double check to make sure there isn't a pedestrian that wasn't there before that showed up while I turned away. You'll have guys riding around on their bikes wearing black clothes at night. It doesn't happen often, but that is the kind of combination that could get someone crushed with an arm. It's not good. If you got trash set out to the curb on the street, it's very difficult to hit pedestrians with an arm when the trash is on the street against the curb. There's some, like, it's one of those things where once you do the job, it's obvious, but to the average person setting their garbage out, it's not obvious. That's 10 out of 10. You might think, well, isn't that close to the pole? It is, but like behind it, that's not a problem. That doesn't faze me. It's when it's like side to side. But that's real smooth. If you're running a contract town and they're all set out like that, you're going to be running like 140 stops an hour. Placement's not too bad, but it is backwards. Get them to turn around or turn sideways. It's a little easier to service. Keeps the lid slightly cleaner. 825. 825. We'll give them that. I give this a 9. Yeah, it's on a sidewalk. In this neighborhood, maybe that's harder to avoid. Better placement would have been right there. But sometimes it, like when they set it out on the sidewalk, I don't know if it's an elderly person that, you know, hasn't requested the walk-up service, but they have a hard time pulling it up and down over the curb. So I'll put it back on the sidewalk for them. Sideways, 825. It's all bagged and tied. That's pretty slick. And then there's whatever this is. Backwards and lid open. So if I were to grab it with the lid open, it tears up the lid. It's kind of hard on it. That's like a 7. Almost a 6.8. Almost a failure because I had to move into the curb around a parked vehicle. Like if it was down here, like that, I wouldn't have to like move in and out of the lanes around parked vehicles. The arm would have to reach to get it and service it. Oh, this is just a disaster. Got one that's forwards and one that's backwards. I don't know what's up with that. Let's see what we can do with the arm. Get this out of the way. If I get real greedy, try to grab as much as possible. That wasn't too bad. Do you think I could get that? Whoa. We might be able to. I'm not gonna lie, this went a lot better than I thought. Oh, I knew something was gonna go wrong. Yeah, there's no getting that sucker off here. When you see liquid fly off something, I'd like to think it's a sprinkler that ran overnight, but I'm not seeing evidence of a sprinkler system. So who knows what that liquid was? Yeah, just think happy thoughts. I don't think I got it on me.